Yes.
Okay. Any intelligent fool can make things bigger, more complex, and more violent. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. Words from Albert Einstein. I thought it would be interesting to let you guys know both Albert Einstein and Benjamin Franklin had attention deficit disorder. In medical terms, attention deficit disorder is an inability to control behavior due to difficulty in processing neural stimuli. Basically, it's a syndrome that is usually diagnosed in childhood, is characterized by a persistent pattern of impulsiveness, a short attention span, and often hyperactivity, and interfering especially with academic, occupational, and social performance. To understand this disorder, we're going to review the statistics, symptoms, and treatment. On average, a classroom with 30 students will have between 1 and 3 children with ADD. It's also interesting that boys are diagnosed with this disorder 3 times more than girls. Approximately 1 in 82 people overall in the United States have been diagnosed. It is considered one of the most common mental disorders in children in America. Symptoms. The Washington, D.C.-based American Psychiatric Association lists 14 different ADD symptoms, and it's required that there are to be at least 8 for a child to be diagnosed with ADD. I'm not going to read them all, but I'll just read a couple of them. People diagnosed with ADD often fidget with hands or feet, squirm while seated, they have difficulty remaining seated, have trouble awaiting turn in games or group activities, have difficulty in following instructions or directions, they shift from one uncompleted task to another, have difficulty playing quietly, talk excessively, interrupt or intrude on others, have trouble listening to what is being said to them, and are easily distracted by extraneous stimuli. These symptoms are often accompanied by anxiety, learning disabilities, speech or hearing problems, obsessive compulsive disorder, and behavioral problems. Okay, treatment. Most common forms of treatment are medication called stimulants. Most common, Adderall, Ritalin, Concerta. These drugs are not addictive and do not produce a high feeling. There are many parents that are concerned with that, so I thought it would be cool to point out that they're not addictive. Even after all these medications, about 10% of patients will gain no benefit from the drugs, and in these cases, other types of drugs are tried, commonly antidepressants, Prozac, fluoxetine, that type of deal. Attention deficit disorder is a very common disorder in America, and it doesn't mean that that person has problems or is under average intelligence. It is researched and it is proven that it is a disorder, and the quicker someone with the above symptoms is observed and possibly diagnosed, the quicker effective treatment can be given.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me? No?
Is it something that is outgrown?
Something that is outgrown? With treatment, I believe it's, I wouldn't say outgrown. It sticks with you, but with treatment, I mean the symptoms go away. Yeah. Yep. Anything else?
I was reading an article just recently that was talking about use of computer and the internet in older people was actually increasing the missing and stuff like you were talking.
Like attention deficit disorder, increasing that?
Well, in older people, seniors and stuff, that was one of the main things that they came out years ago about against TV, that was hypnotizing kids and taking away some of their ways of thinking and stuff.
Yeah, and I've always thought that too, because if you put a kid in front of a TV all day and then they have to manage what's going on around them too, they kind of learn to bounce from one thing to another. So it kind of like stimulates that, being on this and then not finishing that and going to the next thing without even like focusing on one.
You know, obviously you're talking about problems that the computers and the internet was creating in older people. That was actually decreasing their ability to stay focused because, like you said,
yeah.
the government's,
looking at 8 different things and not focusing on one. Yeah, so I mean, any of that stuff can bring it out. And I think a lot more people have it than are diagnosed with it. Just a lot of people think that they're just the type of person that can't focus when, in all reality, it is a disorder, so, yeah.
But society's bringing more of it out.
Yeah, it's definitely getting recognized a lot more. I work in a pharmacy and I deal with moms coming in every day talking about their kids don't have their medication and they're bouncing off the walls because they just cannot focus, so, yeah.
It's like those TVs, you can watch 8 different shows at one time.
Yeah. So, is there anything?
Do you know anything about red dye?
I've heard that red dye has something to do in food I've heard that actually, I don't
A
know.
lot of times you can get red dye out of the diet and they can completely come off the medication. We have friends.
Yeah, I've heard a little something about that, but I wasn't for sure on it.
Well, not that we're for everybody, it's just a
Yeah. Anything else? No? Okay.
Once you're on the medication, you're pretty much on it for the rest of your life then?
I'm not sure how they go about, like, weaning you off if they would. I know that with young kids, they keep them on it for a while, just to take care of the symptoms. But they say it's not addictive, so it's not hurting them to be on it for prolonged periods, so.
But it kind of deadens, it kind of deadens everything, doesn't it? I mean, the good qualities also.
What is it?
The medicine kind of deadens
I mean, it kind of chills them out.
Oh, yeah, it chills them out so that they slow down. Yeah, that's
So if
what.
it has some really good qualities, it kind of depresses those too.
It might. I don't know. I've never dealt with it like straight on, but I know that there's been moms coming in literally telling me this kid needs his converter. He's gonna, and the kid will literally come in and be messing with this and then that and then this, and I'm like.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess I would just have to wait until I come into contact with it, but yeah. That's it.
All right. Okay.
No,